This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, I think we know that because we discuss it all the time. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. So here we go. Today is Tuesday, January the 27th of 2026. Yes, that's what it is. And we are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
We are radio. We are sarcasm. We are both combined.
Oh, what a deal of a deal. You know, sarcasm and radio combined into one thing. How can you go wrong with that is the way that I normally take a look at it. So anyways, how's the last 24 hours or so been? Because hopefully they've been grandioso for you as we are going through, quote unquote, the winter storms. Hopefully you're not out there suffering too much in regards to what's going on. Yeah, the cold weather has finally hit areas of Florida. I mean, we are in the 30s. But I know it's not as terrible as it's been in some of the other places. But hopefully you're staying warm wherever you're located. So let's talk real quick. Our show consists of safety in the news and safety. That's kind of how we talk. That's how we go and do everything that we do around here. It's kind of the simple process, the easiest process of everything that we go through. So that's it. That's what we do. That's kind of how we talk. That's how we go about doing some things. So there you go. That is some aspect of what is happening, in case you're encouraged to know. Encouraged to know is the way that I'll word that. So with that being said, let's do this if you do not mind. If you want to interact with the show, go to callinradio.com. That's Call In Radio. Once you get there, video, audio, and text messaging are the three options. Once you get into that whole system, boom, we're set, we move, we groove, and everything goes forward from there. Gives me a little prompt here on the screen, lets me know exactly what's going on, and then we move forward. Okay, so our show consists of 3 hours. Hour number 1 is on a podcast, also is video streamed, and it is also, inside of our multiverse of networks of things that we do. That's hour 1 is simulcast across all platforms. And you can even go to safetyfm.com and click on visual radio, and that'll give you part of what's going on. Outside of that, hour 2 and 3, we do not do on anything else besides radiobig.fm. Just so you know. I don't want it to be some level of surprise later down the road. That's what's going on. So radiobig.fm is where we hang out. So that's all you have to do. Go over there, hang out, we'll do our stuff. Outside of that, we talk about safety in the news and safety. That's just really what happens. I bring in some professional broadcasters. They talk about what the hell's going on in their versionality of the world, and then we move forward. I give you a level of main story, then we kind of zip it up, and then go from there. I mean, and when I say zip it up, I mean bring you everything that we got. Duh. So, boom. Everything's good to go. So with that being said, let me bring you my friends right now from Feature Story News, where they can tell you exactly what the hell is going on out there in that world of ours, because it's some interesting times. Let's not lie.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in the UK, I'm John Beaver. India and the European Union are set to announce the conclusion of a trade agreement that will link the world's biggest consumer market to the world's biggest free trade union. Ishan Gurg tells us more.
The free trade agreement between India and the EU has been in the works for nearly 2 decades. The deal, officials say, paves the way for greater trade between the two sides that account for nearly a quarter of the world's GDP and a market of 2 billion consumers. It comes as both India and the EU have been reeling under tariff pressures from one of their biggest export markets, the United States, and officials say the deal will also help lower dependency on Chinese imports. The free trade agreement is likely to become operational by early next year, and officials say it could double bilateral trade between the two sides in the next 6 years. India and the EU are also likely to sign a defense deal along with a workers' mobility agreement, signalling closer ties than ever before.
UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer is leading a delegation to Beijing on Tuesday, looking to improve relations between the two countries. It comes after planning permission for China's so-called mega embassy in London was approved, but whilst concerns remain about Chinese influence in the UK. Stuart Smith reports from London.
The government is keeping quiet on the details and expectations, but reportedly there's a particular emphasis on improving the situation for British financial services, as well as luxury products. This will be the first visit of a UK Prime Minister to China since 2018, when Chinese and British officials were hailing a golden era of bilateral relations. But since then, successive Conservative governments have grown more wary of Chinese influence in the UK. This trip is meant to demonstrate London is serious about a new relationship with Beijing. Just last month, the UK rebuked China for conducting military exercises around Taiwan, and its companies have been banned from investing in parts of the British economy, like nuclear power plants and sensitive telecoms. But China's investment in renewable energy and infrastructure has been welcomed, and this trip appears aimed as a reset, while UK ties with the United States become unpredictable.
International Holocaust Remembrance Day is being marked around the world. It's the 81st anniversary of the liberation of the Auschwitz concentration camp. In the UK, the King and Queen are holding a reception at Buckingham Palace for Holocaust survivors and their families. 86-year-old Peter Lantos was a prisoner of the Nazis at the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp.
I remember the liberation quite clearly because everything has changed. It was Americans. Our life has changed completely. We became free. We could eat, had food, had proper room to live in. So it was all very different.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. The White House is coming under pressure from a growing number of President Trump's fellow Republicans over the killing of 37-year-old Alex Pretty in Minneapolis on Saturday, accused by top Trump officials of being a domestic terrorist and a would-be assassin. In fact, there is no evidence to support the view that Mr. Pretty was doing anything illegal, as he observed and recorded on camera the operations of Border Patrol agents, and as he carried a loaded pistol for which he had a fully legal permit. He was disarmed by the killer Border Patrol agents before they shot him to death.
If the local communities would, rather than say, we will not cooperate with you, what choice does ICE have?
Jennifer Ewing is with Republicans abroad.
Alex Pretty was not a domestic terrorist. However, he did show up at a peaceful protest with a gun, there's rights, which I totally back the Second Amendment, and then there is common sense. I mean, I'm sure everybody can watch the video in slow motion. What he should have said, and again, he didn't deserve to be killed by this, that this was a messy situation. He should have said, I had a gun. Many of these people are either paid for or going there to protect illegal people.
Again, there is no evidence that Mr. Pretty, an American citizen, was a paid agitator, nor that he did anything illegal before he was gunned down on Saturday. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, the so-called mother of all trade deals is set to be announced between India and the European Union. The huge deal has been worked on for over 2 decades. UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer is leading a delegation to Beijing, looking to improve relations between the UK and China. It comes amid lingering concerns about Chinese influence in the UK. And International Holocaust Remembrance Day is being marked around the world. It's the 81st anniversary of the liberation of the Auschwitz concentration camp. That's the latest feature story news. John Beaver reporting.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
You ever hit the wall, burnout, stressed, or just feeling that everything is piling up and thought, yeah, I probably need to talk to someone? The problem is finding the therapist who actually takes your insurance feels impossible at times. That's where Rula comes in. Rula is a healthcare company that makes mental health care easy to access and actually affordable. They partner with over 100 insurance plans, so the average copay is about $15 a session, sometimes even less. With Rula, you get matched with the right therapist for you, not just whoever's available. Their network has over 15,000 licensed professionals, and you can book an appointment as soon as tomorrow. No wait list, no frustrations, just therapy that works with your schedule and your insurance. Thousands of people are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that actually covered by insurance. Visit Rula.com/safetyfm to get started. After you sign up, you'll be asked how you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know that we sent you there. That's RULA.com/safetyfm. You deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget. Go to Rula.com/safetyfm right now to get started. That's RULA.com/safetyfm, because you deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget.
This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth. Through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found.
Embrace a daily boost of nature with Field of Greens. Discover the simple power of one scoop to elevate your well-being. Enjoy the flavor that appeals to you the most and let the blend of organic fruits and vegetables enhance your life. Experience the following benefits with Fields of Greens. Noticeable energy increase to power you throughout the day.
Improved quality of sleep.
Enhanced digestive comfort and a general uplift in your wellness. Field of Greens stands out with the selection of organically grown ingredients, each carefully picked for its benefits to your heart and overall health. We are confident that you'll appreciate the benefits of Field of Greens. If it doesn't meet your expectations, we offer a straightforward money-back guarantee. Jumpstart your health journey with a special offer, 15% off your first purchase plus complimentary expedited shipping. Just visit fieldofgreens.com and use the code SAFETYFM to redeem your discount. That's SAFETYFM at fieldofgreens.com. Experience nature's touch at fieldofgreens.com/SAFETYFM. And don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you.
Another pitfall of our society. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, here we are, 14 minutes past the top of the hour. Spitballing and pitfalling is what it sounds like as we are hanging out on this lovely Tuesday. So let's get into some rando-ando stuff, because I think that's where we need to start today. So let's go ahead and get into it. An Atlanta TV reporter tried to teach viewers how to de-ice a car on TV live, instead delivered a masterclass in what not to do. With Storm Fern slamming nearly half of the country in Georgia under the state of emergency, Atlanta's News First sent investigative reporter Andy Piotri outside on Sunday morning to demonstrate the winter survival basics. Problem, Atlanta doesn't exactly have major ice storms, and it showed. Andy stood next to the car that was covered in ice and held up a can of ice fighter spray and openly admitted that he'd never used it before. He sprayed the windshield and waited the recommended 15 seconds and then started scraping it, and nothing. Zero movement. The ice laughed at him, of course. He doubled down with more spray and noted that the windshield wipers were frozen solid, and then admitted that he and his photographer didn't know that you're supposed to prop them up before the storm. Cue awkward live TV scrambling live, line for the morning. Clearly, we have an issue here. The clip exploded online, nearly 5 million views in a day. And the cold weather veterans are roasting the segment politely and reminded that the South cars are equipped with defrosters for a reason. Turns out the product instructions say to start the car, turn on the defroster first, and for heavy ice, score it before spraying. Minor details, I know. Take a listen to this.
Up to me and my photographer woke up just 2 hours ago, and as you can see, our vehicle is just caked with ice. And take a look at this. This all happened this morning. Now, I want to show you what you could do if you happen to have the right equipment to help de-ice your vehicle. This is Presto. It's a ice fighter spray. I've never used this. We're going to try it out. According to the directions, all you have to do is spray. Here we go.
That's cue for it's going to go all down the drain there.
15 seconds. So we're going to wait 15 seconds.
That's like dead air item
right now, right?
On TV.
Start hearing a crack. And then afterwards, what you're supposed to do is simply just scrape it off. Well, clearly, I need a little bit more time. And clearly, you're supposed to move the windshield wipers up. My photographer is from the South.
Blaming it on the photographer.
To do that, obviously, I didn't either. But this is what the instructions say to use. And I think that this illustrates.
I would imagine the visual must be way better.
Spray a little bit more.
Bro.
Clearly, we have an issue here.
Still not going to work, man.
Like anyone in North Fulton, this is what your vehicle may be looking like if you don't have
spray
a
it
garage
before ice arrives.
to put your vehicle in.
Hold on. Why would you spray it before ice arrives? I'm just saying. So there you go. Some stuff going on right there as we are talking. Okay, so take a listen to this because, things get better and better. Hilton Head, South Carolina is cracking down on rats and messy cars, now in public enemy number 1. Starting February the 1st, a new town ordinance makes it illegal to let garbage pile up in any building or vehicle if it could attract rats. Yes, that includes your car, even your back street, the graveyard of fast food bags. Violators could face up to $500 in fines and up to 30 days in jail, or both. And every day the trash sits counts as a separate offense. Officials say that the beach town has been battling growing rat problems and that it is part of a broader push to cut off food sources. Meanwhile, in the What's Happening department, PETA recently proposed a separate law in Delaware that could fine dog owners $500 if they don't walk their dogs at least 3 times a day. The idea sparked backlash, with critics pointing out that dogs, like humans, are not built the same, and neither are schedules. Veterinarians back that up too, saying that the exercise varies by age, health, and breed. Congratulations, your backseat is now legally considered a rat Airbnb. That's the first part. The empty soda cup, straight to jail. No trial, no parole. Rats ruined it for everyone again. Your car is no longer a vehicle, it's a potential crime scene. Forget DUI checkpoints. Now the town runs a McDonald's bag inspection, and Hilton Head cops now are asking, sir, is that trash or contraband? I mean, how weird of a world that we get into here, that this is part of it. Then the other side, let's just be realistic here. How would you track this dog thing? You need to walk the dogs at least 3 times in Delaware. Like, how would that have been tracked? I mean, listen, I understand what PETA is trying to do with some things, but holy shit, that's taking it to a totally different level here. I'm still trying to figure that one out. If somebody could explain that to me, that would be quite fantastic, because I'm always looking and going, certain things don't make sense, and that definitely falls into that category.
Who truly cares what this guy has to say? Who gives a shit? Rated R Safety Show.
It's just a question, man, because, you know, it gets very weird from time to time as we are talking for some of this stuff. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Just an interesting time as we are talking. Okay, so let's see. Take a listen to this. A female skier in northwest China was mauled by a snow leopard after getting dangerously close to snap a photo. Video from Friday shows that her laying face down in the snow with a purple ski suit. When being led away by blood pouring out of her face, she repeatedly approached within 10 feet of a rare cat. And near the Mongolian border, a ski instructor eventually scared the snow leopard off by waving his poles. The woman's helmet likely saved her life, but she was rushed to the hospital with facial injuries and is now listed as in stable condition. The attack happened in the Global Geopark in Xinjiang, where authorities had allegedly warned visitors about recent snow leopard sightings. Officials stressed that snow leopards are powerful predators and urged tourists not to linger, walk alone, or approach wildlife for photos. Advice that clearly went ignored here. Snow leopard attacks on humans are extremely rare. China is home for about 60% of the world's remaining snow leopards, with only an estimated 4,000 to 6,500 left globally. In short, breathtaking animal, but terrible selfie idea when it's all said and done. I would have no desire at all to approach one of these things and be like, I think this is a good time to take a picture. I don't even approach people most of the time about taking pictures. So all of a sudden I'm going to approach an animal that you have no idea what it's going to do. I know. We can go down a rampage there if we wanted to do that, but let's just leave it where it is, because no need to beat a dead horse. So there you go. There you go. Let's continue talking about some other stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that's what we do around here. Okay, so let's get into it, because you know that we can't have a show without getting into some of this stuff. So let's get into some of the news stories. President Trump just hit the reset button in Minneapolis, and it came with a demotion. The president has sidelined Kristi Noem and ordered Tom Homan, a longtime ICE veteran and her internal rival, to take over a rapidly unraveling ICE operation in Minnesota. Trump announced the move yesterday on Truth Social, saying that Homan a tough but fair and will report directly to him. The shakeup follows the fatal shooting of Alex Brady, a 37-year-old American citizen and an ICU nurse who was killed by ICE agents over the weekend. The incident poured gasoline on weeks of unrest in Minneapolis, which began after the earlier killing of Renee Good, another American citizen, during an anti-ICE protest. Behind the scenes, even Republicans have raised alarms that Noem's operation has spiraled out of control, while Democrats at every level are demanding federal agents to leave the state altogether. Multiple reports say that the president was especially unhappy on how Noem's department handled the public messaging after Brady's death. So there you go. Some interesting times going on right there as we are talking. So we'll take a listen and a look at what the hell happens as we are going forward. Let's continue talking about some other news real quick. Donations have exploded for Liam Ramos, a 5-year-old Minnesota kindergartner now being held in a Texas immigration detention center. As early as yesterday, a GoFundMe was set up to cover legal fees that surged past $300,000. The fundraising was launched at the request of Liam's mother, Erica. According to organizers, Sarai Ortiz says that Erica, has spoken to both Liam and his father and has been told that they're fine, but she bluntly adds that the reality is anything but. She's accuses immigration officers of kidnapping and transporting them across the country without allowing contact with family or a lawyer. So let's see what happens there. In that particular regard. So there you go. Let's continue talking. A CBS analyst says that the sharp contrast between what President Trump's administration officials claimed about the fatal shooting of Alex Pretty in Minneapolis and the video evidence actually shows, according to CBS, multiple officials, including the cabinet secretary, senior White House staff, and top law enforcement leaders reportedly asserted without evidence that Pretty intended to murder agents, violently attack them, may not have legally carried a firearm and received immediate medical care. CBS says that the videos contradict every major point. This is CBS we're talking about now in regards to saying this. So what do you think here? Just an opinion. I mean, this is definitely an opinion section of what we're talking about. So what do you think? Let's continue. Trump agrees to pull ICE agents from Minnesota and allow cops to investigate the shooting of Governor Tim Walz says. After a deadly weekend in Minnesota, President Trump's made a sharp pivot. Trump agreed to pull ICE agents out of Minnesota and let the state authorities take the lead on the investigation. The killing of the 37-year-old Alex Pretty, who was shot dead by federal agents during the anti-ICE protest. Governor Tim Walz says that the president personally agreed to allow Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension to conduct the investigation independently and to scale back the federal presence in the states, focusing on immigration enforcement and more narrowing on violent criminals instead of blanket operations. So there you go. Some stuff going on there. I know it seems like we're in the political section of these stories, but that's where we're at the moment. So let's continue. Also, in some other news, Ted Cruz talks about MAGA in public, but behind closed doors, the tone is very different. According to a secret recording obtained by Axios, the Texas senator privately mocked President Trump's tariff policies, blasted Vice President J.D. Vance as a protege of Tucker Carlson, and complained that outside influencers are steering key administration decisions. In the audio recorded during a private donor meeting last year, Cruz is heard ripping the president's April 2025 Liberation Day tariff rollout, saying that he'd fire any staffer who used that phrase. He recounts a tense phone call where he and other senators warned that the tariffs could tank the economy and possibly the presidency. Cruz says that the president was furious, yelling and cursing, and claims that Trump responded directly to him with "fuck you, Ted Cruz," and also says that he warned the president that collapsing the economy could cause bloodbath in the 2026 midterms, costing Republicans the House, the Senate, and triggering nonstop impeachment fights. The recording also shows Cruz going after J.D. Vance, repeatedly tying him to Tucker Carlson, saying that Carlson created Vance and that the two are one and the same. Cruz is openly feuded with Carlson over Israel, accusing him of anti-Semitism and foreign policy and weird foreign policy views. According to Cruz, in the tapes, Carlson and Vance pushed the president to fire former National Security Advisor Mike Waltz because Waltz supported a hardline stance on Iran. He also were behind the appointment of Daniel Davis to the top intelligence role. Cruz claims that Davis viciously hates Israel, and that nomination was later withdrawn after GOP pressure. So there you go. A lot of weird stuff going on behind the scenes. You know how they say we have to show a united front. So there you go. Okay, take a listen to this one. A West Virginia librarian is behind bars after cops say that she crossed a bright red line from political outrage into calling for violence against the president. Morgan Morrow, 39, a Jackson County Public Library employee, was arrested and charged with making terroristic threats after allegedly posting a TikTok that authorities say that she tried to recruit people to assassinate the president. In the now removed video, Morrow reportedly suggested a terminal ill sniper should take out the president, adding captions and comments that investigators say encourage violence. Commenters piled on, even tossing out the conservative figures as potential targets. Police say that it doesn't matter whether she claims it was just talking. The content was viewed as encouraging and inspire real world harm. She was taken from her Ripley home, questioned, then booked in South Central Regional Jail, where her mugshot showed her staring stone face in a skeleton sweater. Morrow told the officers that she never intended to actually mobilize anyone, but the sheriff made it clear criticism is legal, reoccurring violence is not. The library quickly distanced itself, issuing a statement saying that her comments do not reflect the values and the situation is being handled internally. So there you go. A lot of stuff as we are talking. What an interesting time we're in regards to some of the stuff that we get to talk about. No doubt about that. What do you think about this whole mess? I'm just always asking because I'm kind of curious of what the hell's going on. Anyways, I think it's time to do that thing that we like to do on Tuesdays. Right here is the tip of the day from YouTube.
As soon as your alarm clock goes off, sit up, make 2 fists, and yell, "Yeah!" as if you're a soccer player who's just scored a goal. It sounds bizarre, but it really does help you easily get out of bed feeling refreshed.
Okay, so feel refreshed by yelling "yeah" before you, get out of bed. Hopefully you don't have a partner next to you because they're going to ask you what the hell's going on with you. No doubt about that. I'm just saying. It's not going to be one of those things that it's going to be a good time if you have a partner and you do not warn them ahead of time that this is something you're going to start doing. I cannot imagine how that's going to go. Anyways, in some other things, Alex Brittany is an ICU nurse who was shot and killed by ICE agents over the weekend. His mother, Susan Brittany, spoke to AP. Take a listen to this.
He was an outdoorsman. He took his dog everywhere he went. He loved this country. But he hated what people were doing to it.
So there you go. That's I think that's one of the first things said there in regards from his parents. Take a listen to this one. Listen to this clip. It's the ICE agent telling the woman that she considered a domestic terrorist because she was getting video of the ICE agents. This happened in Portland, Maine. Take a listen to this one.
It's not illegal to record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, why are you taking my information down?
Because we have a nice little database.
Oh, good.
And now you're considered a domestic terrorist. So
we're videotaping you? Are you crazy?
So, interesting times, no doubt about that, as we are talking more and more about everything that is going on. So there you go. Okay, so with that being said, why don't we do this? It is 32 minutes past the top of the hour. It feels like it's time, so let's do it. Let's get into that thing that we call our main story.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay. I never know what to name some of these things, and I just kind of go, hey, let's just start talking and see what happens. And you normally right there, this is the exact moment in the show where we start talking about the main story and it ties directly to safety. But sometimes we tie it into work process, then policies, rules, and controls. But maybe somebody followed the procedure, maybe they didn't, and maybe they pretend to be, procedures that actually matches reality. But we know that doesn't happen. That's the formula. That's kind of what we do. But here's the thing. We do this quite often. So let's talk real quick about something different today. The world that we're living in right now. Like right now. It's not operating on the same rule book. And honestly, I think one of the biggest risks that we're ignoring has nothing to do with machine, permits, hard hats, or even policies. It has everything to do how we interact with people who don't agree with us. Now, bear with me for just a moment, and let me say this as clearly as I can. I'm not talking about changing your beliefs. I'm definitely not talking about abandoning your values, and definitely not talking about just getting along. I'm talking about something way more basic and way more uncomfortable. The ability to sit across someone who sees the world completely, and I mean completely differently than you do, and not lose your damn mind about it. Because right now, that's a skill that's disappearing. And think about it. Politics, religion, workplace culture, safety philosophies, and heaven forbid, human performance. If someone doesn't agree with you, the response isn't curiosity anymore. It's dismissal. Block, mute, unfollow, and let's slap a label on this fucker. And let's be honest. Most of us don't even call it avoidance. We call it protecting our peace. But that's not really what we're doing. It's building silos. I want you to think about this. I remember when you would be able to have a differentiating opinion and it was okay. Differentiating professional opinion was okay as well. But now we have silos. And silos, for some people, they feel safe. And silos feel comfortable. And silos are full of people who nod when you talk. You know, that yes man and yes woman type of thing. Who share the same articles, who repost the same opinions, who say exactly before you've even finished the sentence. And that feels good. It feels validating. It feels like you're right. But safety has never been built on comfort. Ever. Like ever. Think about it. We talk about work. We say we want people to speak up. We want people to dissent. We want people to give different perspectives until someone actually challenges us. Not a rule, not a process, but our thinking. And the moment that happens, we don't lean in anymore. We just straight up shut down. Or worse, we weaponize our expertise. We talk louder. We talk longer. And we talk at people instead of with them. And then when we walk away saying, see, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. Like I have a friend, an acquaintance online that he likes to do this shit. If you don't agree with me, you're wrong. You're stupid. You're an idiot. He's a real tough guy on social media. And really wants to call people out. Not that kind of person when you see him in person. Also, he's very cool with trying to make people feel uncomfortable if you don't agree with him. But here's the funny part. Here is the uncomfortable truth about a lot of these things. If you only feel safe having conversations with people who already agree with you, you're not open-minded. You're just not. You're insulated. Your insulation might keep you warm, but it also keeps you blind. Risk doesn't come from agreement. Risk comes from difference. Different lived experiences, different interpretations, different histories, different fears, different motivations. That's where blind spots live. And when you refuse to engage with difference, we don't eliminate risk, we hide it. Think about it. Now, let's bring it back to work for a moment, because I think this is going to be important. Because this isn't just abstract. When a worker doesn't trust leadership, when leadership doesn't trust workers, when safety sees operations as the problem and operations sees safety out of touch, that's not a technical issue. That's a relationship failure. And relationship failures don't get fixed by policies. They get fixed by conversations we don't want to have. And here's where people get uncomfortable, because someone disagreeing with you doesn't mean that they're attacking you. Someone seeing the world differently than you doesn't mean that they're stupid, evil, or dangerous. Sometimes it just means they lived a different life. Now, don't get me wrong. Not every opinion deserves an applause, and not every belief deserves an adoption, and not every conversation is worth continuing. But refusing to engage at all, that's not strength. That's fragility. And here's the part that nobody likes to hear. If your belief system falls apart the moment someone questions it, and it wasn't solid as you thought in the first place, and if your safety philosophy can't survive contact with reality with messy humans and conflicting views, it's not a philosophy, it's a slogan. So yes, we can't keep pretending that this doesn't belong in safety, and we can't keep hiding behind professionalism, and we can keep curating our feeds and our conversations so nothing ever challenges us. But understand this, the moment you stop listening to people who don't agree with you is the moment you stop learning. Seriously, think about it for a moment. And in safety, the moment you stop learning is the moment that you become the hazard yourself. And that's real life risk.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back. We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly. Less than $2 a month and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' best life insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
What do guys like besides pizza and morning sex?
Jay Allen in the morning.
It's so bizarre and unnatural.
It's all good on Radio Dig.
Everybody out on the dance floor singing, hey, oh, way, oh. Some of those things you feel alright. These are the best days of my life. Hey, oh, way, oh.
Okay, here we are. 45 minutes past the top of the hour. Still hanging out on the Rated R Safety Show. Yeah, doing all the fun stuff we get to do, no doubt about that. Okay, this right here, an artist by the name of Wolf Club. Song is called Summer Lights. Readily available on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and Pandora. So there you go. Yeah, we're hitting it out right now. Yeah, you know me. We played this one before, but I like it. We can play it again. And again. And again and again and again. So there you go. Anyways, let's continue talking. Give that one a little streamer-eamer action. Yes, definitely from Wolf Club. Enjoying that one for sure as we are talking. So let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Our Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. And we want you to know that people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, you're going to see information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, self-injury, suicide, trauma, and grief support, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. I'm going to tell you, you go there, it can change everything for you. Not a joke as I'm saying that, serious biz as we are talking. No doubt about that one whatsoever. So there you go. Anyways, with that being said, let's continue talking a little bit more about some things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that's kind of what we do inside of this little shower-ower. No doubt there. So there you go. What do you think? I don't know. It's always an interesting time when we start talking about some of the weird stuff that is going on inside of there. So I'm wondering, just for a moment, if you don't mind, I would like to play something to you. And if it's anything, if it's a words of advice from an older lady, and I found this. And I was like, let's take a listen to it together.
What is one thing that when you were younger, you put a lot of priority on, and as you gone older, you realized wasn't that important?
Things. Now I have a house full of beautiful dishes and vases, and nobody even wants them. My kids don't want them. They have small houses, and they don't have room for anything. And, you know, at the time, it was important to have them. Mm-hmm. It's not important to have the best of everything. Don't look at other people. I think it's very important in life to have a good place to come home to, a nice, comfortable home. And it's more important than fancy clothes or fancy cars or restaurants or anything.
So what do you think? Do you find those as words of advice? Or do you look at it and go, this is an old person. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm just asking a question. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting overall in regards to what was going on. No doubt about that. So there you go. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and bring some John Smalls into our life. Let him tell us about what exactly is going on with the Motivation Minute. I'm doing this a little bit earlier than normal. Reason behind it is because I always feel like we don't have enough time on the back end. So take a listen to this. Seriously.
Today's quote was submitted by Mike. Marianne Williams said, "Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure." Wow, I've never thought of this one. Maybe it's just me, but I've never, ever felt powerful beyond measure. I recently did an event for a nonprofit. We worked together to raise money for their charity. We both put our whole hearts into this event, and it just didn't pan out the way we wanted it to. Nobody was harmed in any way. Maybe some bruised egos. We're all going to be okay, though. I think sometimes I feel like I could use a little more firepower. I'm going to have to check into today's quote a little more to see what the context is. Like I said, I've never ever felt that I was powerful beyond measure in any way. I think it's important to stay grounded, though. So even if I was in a position to feel this way, I'm pretty sure I'd still feel as though I'm just not enough.
The Motivation Minute.
This has been the Motivation Minute. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Millions across the United States and parts of Canada are still digging out as a huge winter storm leaves deep snow, dangerous ice, and power problems.
More than 200 million people have faced heavy snow, sleet, or freezing rain, with some areas topping 20 inches of snow and wind chills plunging well below freezing. Airlines have canceled or delayed thousands of flights, and road crews are working around the clock to clear interstates and side streets. Lawrence Keller reporting.
Tension and anger are growing in Minneapolis as protests swell after a federal immigration officer fatally shot a U.S. citizen.
Cell phone video shows agents confronting a man, forcing him to the ground and using a chemical spray before multiple shots are fired at close range. Demonstrators are demanding an independent investigation, while Minnesota leaders from both parties call for a review of immigration enforcement in the state. Liam White reporting.
In Washington and state capitals, pressure is mounting on federal officials to explain immigration enforcement tactics in Minnesota.
Republican and Democratic leaders alike are urging formal inquiries into how these operations are planned, supervised, and reviewed. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says he spoke with President Donald Trump, who agreed to consider scaling back the number of federal officers in the state. Lawmakers in Congress are signaling possible hearings on oversight of immigration enforcement. Kyle Norris reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
Air travelers across the country are facing long lines, packed terminals, and mounting frustration.
Major hubs in the Northeast and Midwest have reported waves of cancellations as runways are plowed and de-iced repeatedly. Airlines are issuing travel waivers that allow passengers to rebook without change fees, but limited seats mean many travelers will be stuck for days. Airport officials say they are working with carriers to manage crowds, provide cots, and basic supplies. Kevin Sanders reporting.
In Maine, federal investigators are examining the wreckage of a private jet that crashed near Bangor, killing 7 people and leaving one person badly hurt.
The aircraft went down Sunday night, and responders found the plane heavily damaged with debris scattered in a wooded area. The Federal Aviation Administration and National Transportation Safety Board are working to determine what caused the crash, including weather, mechanical issues, and pilot actions. Jessica Oakley reporting.
Across India, security is high, and streets in New Delhi are lined with soldiers and floats as the country marks Republic Day.
The guest of honor position next to India's president is selected to reflect New Delhi's current foreign policy priorities and key strategic relationships. Past invitees have included leaders from major powers and regional partners, underscoring ties in defense, trade, and technology. Benjamin Wright reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
Because of the cold weather, our radio signal has been treated with brand new technology called digital hot chocolate warming. Listen to us, we'll keep you warm all day long.
Okay, so there you go. Currently 53 minutes past the top of the hour as we are hanging out and talking a little bit about this and a little bit about that and everything else that's going on inside of the world of the multiverse. Let's talk about some things that happened back on this day. Back in 1996, Jane Fonda undergoes arthroscopic surgery on her right knee back in 1992. Also on that same day, presidential candidate Bill Clinton and Jennifer Flower accuse each other of lying over assertion they had in a 12-year affair. So there you go. Also in 2006, Western Union sent their last telegram. Yes, I did say telegram. That happened back in 2006. Let's talk about some celebrity birthdays going on today if you care about that. James Cromwell turns 86. Nick Mason turns 82. Mimi Rogers turns 70, Bridget Fonda turns 62, and Mike Patton turns 58. So there you go. That's what's going on over there. Also, let's talk about some things you ought to know. That seems to be important. Tonight's Mega Million jackpot is for $285 million. Here's last night's winning Powerball number. The jackpot was $30 million. It was 21, 31, 51, 60, 63. Powerball was 18 and Power Play was 2. Also in some other news, New York got absolutely steamrolled by the winter storm Fern. By early yesterday morning, Washington Heights led the Misery Parade with 14.9 inches of snow, the biggest total of the 5 bureaus and the kind of numbers that New Yorkers haven't seen in years, according to the National Weather Service. And just to keep things spicy, forecasters said that more flurries could still come their way. So there you go. Also in some other news, Tiger Woods golf apparel line is targeting partnership with the biggest names in the sports as it continues to rake in the cash. Tiger launched his long-awaited clothing line Sunday Red in partnership with TaylorMade in May of 2024 after splitting with Nike following a 27-year partnership. And the decision to jump ship to a team with TaylorMade appears to be paying off, with money flooding in quicker than expected. That is for sure. Our revenues have grown faster than they've ever expected, David Abiels, CEO of Sunday Red, said, and TaylorMade told Front Office Sports. So there you go. They're truly remarkable, and we've exceeded all of our revenue projections. So there you go. In some other news, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has urged the Trump administration to recalibrate ICE and warned that the agency is losing respect after the Minneapolis shooting. The agency should get back to what they wanted to do to begin with, and it is to remove people from the country who were here illegally. The Republican said, we need to have respect for law enforcement officers in the country. ICE, they are law enforcement officers, Abbott told radio host Mark Davis yesterday. So they, being the White House, need to recalibrate on what needs to be done to make sure that the respect is going into be reinstilled into the people. And let's make sure that we understand that this is not an easy task, especially under current circumstances. So a lot of stuff going on, that is for sure, as we are talking. I don't know what's going to happen. That's always the way that I look at it. Anyways, this is going to be the end of our numero uno. At the top of the hour, we'll be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. I'll be talking about the world of music and entertainment if you go over there. If you decide not to go over there and hang out here on Safety FM, you'll get to hang out with the likes of Sheldon Primus. As he talks about the world of safety consulting. So that's it. That's going to sum up our time together. As I said, if you need some words of wisdom for today, develop a passion for learning. If you do, you'll never cease to grow. And if you need some words of advice for today, did you know that rubbing beeswax over any pair of shoes, you can make them waterproof? Yeah, you heard me there. So there you go. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.
This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth. Through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion. The book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
In safety, in my opinion, you woke up. You saw the system, the simulation, the structure that trained you to mistake compliance for care. Safety mutation. Information misdirection picks up where the signal fractured. Because the system didn't shut you down, it rebranded you. It packaged your voice. Sold your rebellion as a new initiative. and smiled while doing it. This isn't a manual. It's a decoded transmission about what happens when slogans replace stories, when safety becomes marketing, and when truth gets mirrored so perfectly, you forget it was ever yours. You'll see the mutation. Learning teams turned into theater, zero harm turned into optics, and feedback turned into formatting. But the signal didn't die. It was redirected. Safety Mutation is Book 2 of the Signal Transmission Trilogy. Available now in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by the author J. Allen, Ph.D. Because the system adapted. Now it's your move.